Hey everyone, welcome back.
Stop doing that voice.
Tired. How do you want me to do it? Hello everyone.
No, just
welcome
hi
back.
everyone. Welcome back. Hi everyone. Welcome
Okay.
back to Recently with Tom.
Okay, you're screaming. Like
Well,
screaming.
that's what you do.
in people's ears.
That's what you're doing.
No, I'm not. And everybody seems to be loving it so far. So, hey everyone.
Because you're only talking.
Welcome back to Recently Retired, episode 5. Halfway through season 1, which is kind of crazy. Exciting though. Today we're going to talk about how to balance life and school, and obviously we're going to talk about our experiences with soccer, but this can relate to anybody going through school or who's juggling different things in their life that are happening at once.
Yeah, I mean, school, work balance, balancing life with friends, significant others, family, all that.
Definitely. So first of all, like, happy holidays to everybody, no matter what you're celebrating. This is a crazy time of the year, so we thought this might be a good time to talk about this topic because everyone kind of is trying to buy gifts and spend time with family and significant others, and school's kind of wrapping up for college, but in high school, you're still in school, so it's just a busy, crazy time of the year, so we thought it'd be a good time to talk about this.
Yeah, 1 week till Christmas.
Yeah, so how have you been busy, Livy, recently? Because she's got some news to share.
Yeah, so I've been super busy. I mean, I'm still like working right now. I'm substitute teaching, but I just got a job at UNC Chapel Hill, so I'll be doing.
Ooh, she's a Tar Heel.
Yes, I thought I was gonna go there for soccer. So this is another.
You would have been a natty champ.
Yeah, but you know, I'm getting there eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, so
however you can sneak in to be a Tar Heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Sneak in.
So honestly, like, since I've been home from Iceland, like, I'm still not sure if I want to keep playing, what I want to do with my life, and I was just like applying to like a bunch of random jobs, and then I got a call from Chapel Hill, and I'm like, did I apply there? Like, maybe. Like, honest to God, did not remember. Because like on LinkedIn and Indeed, like, you can just click apply, like, whatever. So
she's so dumb.
So anyways, he was like, hey, are you still interested in like the academic support specialist for student athletes? I'm like, yeah, definitely. And then we did an interview. I'm like, oh, it'll be good practice. Never had an interview before. And then I actually got the job. So it's from like January 6th through the end of June. It's just like a 6-month position. And I'll be working with the student athletes. But yeah, needed to buy a car, needed to find a place to live, need to figure out how I'm going to buy a car, how I'm going to pay rent and figure all that out. So yeah.
And we're going out to Salt Lake City, Utah to visit our brother Parker for Christmas. So we're out there for a week and a half.
So I have to basically have everything set because when I get back from Utah on the 31st, I have to leave like 2 days later and no one else will even be home because Tori will be in Indy and my parents and my other brother will still be in Utah. So... And I'm trying to wrap gifts, pack for Utah, and
yeah. And we're visiting our grandma today.
Yep. That's why we're not at home.
Yes. We are in Briarcliff Manor, New York.
Yes. Shout out the Panitzes. Thanks for the hospitality. Yes. So we're down here visiting our grandma for a day. Then we get home, and then we'll have the weekend, and then we fly out to Utah on Monday. So basically just a lot going on, a lot to balance and figure out. So,
and all while trying to get in the Christmas spirit.
Yes.
Because huge, like, Christmassy gals right here.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
And a Happy New Year. You're so annoying on so many levels. But yeah, so we're trying to do all of that at once, and it's been crazy. I'm sad Livy's leaving me again. And we're gonna have to do our podcast from afar.
Don't worry, people.
I know will disappoint a lot of you because just blame it all on Livy.
I mean, really, this is only like our second video that'll be posted. So, people listening, it's still gonna be the exact same. And tell Tori to leave Binghamton, and that's what happened.
Well, I have to graduate first.
You could do an online program, but you chose not to, so it's not my fault.
I couldn't. Really.
Mic drop.
Anyways, but yeah, so it's right now it's kind of been a crazy busy time, and then obviously for me, I've talked a little bit about on the podcast already that I have, my social work classes, which are 4 3-hour classes. Then I work a 20-hour internship and another 20-hour internship. So
Batty,
super busy throughout the year. So I'm finally like getting kind of like a rest a little bit, and you're kind of picking things up. But yeah, we're just going to talk about kind of how we've managed this crazy busy lifestyle, how we managed playing Division I soccer and going to school and, managing boyfriends and friends and family, because our family all lived close, and, we had to go to baby showers and lunches and this, and, while, like, I remember one time we were literally rushing after a scrimmage, like, in the showers, like, trying to get home, get dressed quick, went to the baby shower with my hair all wet, and, like, just super busy. But I feel like let's first kind of talk about, like, a time where we felt super overwhelmed, balancing a lot of things at once, and how we kind of dealt with it. So you want to go first?
Sure, but like going back, I just feel like in high school, like I was going to school from 7 a.m. till like 2:30, went home, did some homework, hung out, and then had soccer practice and training from like 5 to 8 or whatever, 6 to 8:30, came home, ate dinner, like showered and went to sleep. And I was like chilling, like didn't even feel like my schedule was
chilling.
busy. Chillaxing. No, like I don't know, like I feel like we didn't even think we were busy, like that was just life. Yeah. And then I get to college and I'm like, I have 2 classes in a day and practice, like I can't do this.
Yeah, like I cannot function. No, it's crazy because people say that all the time. Like, if I went to a full-time job right after high school, like, I'd be chilling. Like, I'd be chilling. I'd be chilling like a villain. Shout out Descendants. We love you, Evie. Anyways. Oh my God. And Mal. But, yeah, like I was saying, if you just started, like, a full-time job right after high school, you would kind of, like, be right on schedule because you're used to, like, being in class, working kind of from 7 to 3, and then having to do extracurriculars, homework, and, stuff after work or school. And then, so if you started to work, but then college, you come, and it's like, for people who aren't athletes, like, you have 2 classes that are 2 hours, 2.5 hours a day, and then you do some homework, and then that's it. And then after that, you have to start a 9 to 5. Like, it's exhausting. Like, a lot of our friends who were, soccer players have come back to Binghamton and are working, like Melina and Cookie, and they're just like, it's exhausting, like going from having, soccer that was fun with your friends, and then, having a class or two, and then hanging out in your dorm or your apartment, and now it's like you have to drive 30 minutes or an hour to work, and then you work and you sit in your desk chair from 9 to 5, then you have to drive home and it's already dark out, and it's like, how do I fit in the gym? How do I fit in this? And I'm tired. I don't want to go out with friends because I'm just so exhausted from the week, but I need social interaction to survive. Like,
yeah, it's definitely a lot, but then it's also like at this time of year, like just makes you think, like, just be grateful you have a job, like be grateful you have a bed to sleep in, be grateful you have, I don't know, I feel like whenever I catch myself being like, oh my God, I had to work all day today, I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
yeah,
we get to work, like we get to make our own money to like live life and choose what we want to do with it, and also like you get to choose what you want to do for work. So like I feel like there's definitely 2 sides to that story. Like, of course, like venting, complaining, but at the end of the day, like you get to do something that you want to do. Like, make sure you choose that path, right? And you don't. A lot of people would love to probably be in your circumstances. So,
yeah, definitely. But I think too, a lot of people are at jobs because they need the money. So it's not also like you always get to pick what you're doing, but trying to make the most, I guess, of the situation that you're in. So whatever job you're in right now, if you're kind of stuck there right now because you need the money and you need another job before you can leave that one, then I would just encourage you to try to make the most of it and do things throughout the day that feel good for you, and that just you're taking care of yourself, because like we said, this is a super busy time where you might have to be around people you don't enjoy so much, and you might have to do these things, and you have to buy presents, and you're adding everything to your credit card, and it's stressful and it's exhausting. So
yeah. So going back to a time where we felt like super overwhelmed, do you have a time?
I asked you first, and you had like 40 minutes to come up with an answer.
We've been recording for like, what does that say? 10 minutes, so that couldn't be possible. So dramatic. Anyways,
I'll talk about a time.
Of course you will.
Yeah, because I'm just way better than you.
You love the spotlight and talk.
Yeah, because I'm the better podcaster. I think a time where I was like most stressed was when I had my second surgery, and it was my second ACL surgery, November 17th. So, like, those of you who are in college know, like, that's kind of crunch time for finals because you usually end beginning of December. So I was out, I don't know, for a week and a half or something, and home. So I had to communicate a lot with my professors. Like, I had to tell them as soon as we scheduled the surgery, which it was all super quick. Like, I tore my ACL October 31st and then drove down to New York City, got the appointment, waited for them to call me with the date. They called me November 17th, or like a week before about the date. So then I had to reach out to my professors and I had to talk to them about, I had to take an incomplete for a class, which just stressed me out because I'm like, it's just so like, can't I just take the test or get in the paper? But like, I was in so much pain for that week and a half that I just couldn't like be on a computer, like just anything. Like, I watched Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2 like on repeat because I just needed like comfort. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very good with pain either. So,
Oh yeah, her pain tolerance is like in the ground low.
no, it's not.
No, it is.
It's not.
It is.
But I did struggle with that second one. Parker's is in the ground low. I'd say I'm surface level.
Maybe like 5 inches below.
You talk to me when you have 2 ACL surgeries.
I'm good.
Biatch. Anyways, kids might be listening. Sorry, children. Anyway, so that was just like a lot because I also was like talking to our coach and he was kind of like, hey T, like, I get it if you don't want to come back, like go through this and have to come back by August and play your senior season. And I'm like, I want to come back, but I'm just like, he's got a point. Do I really want to do this again? And yeah, like, so fair. So just like all of these kind of emotions, feelings, thoughts, and I had a lot of work with homework, but like, there was, fun events going on at our school too, like formals and SantaCon that I had to go on crutches and I had to just like, God, and just like, it was just such, I think, an overwhelming, stressful time. But I think the thing that carried me through was just my friends and family and support system and leaning on them. But I think it's hard too because they don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you're going through like an overwhelming time in your life, like the people around you may not understand what it is, but they're trying their best to help.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just appreciate that you have that support and try to be as honest and open with them as possible. And then just do like things for you. Like I said, for me, it was watching Daddy's Home.
So good.
Such a fire movie. And just like doing things for me and not kind of adhering to what other people thought I should be doing. So if like, obviously my mom was like, you're not going to those formals. Like, what if you slip? What happens? Like, you might have to go back in surgery. And it was just like, I had already missed a lot from COVID and my other ACL. And I was like, I just don't want to miss these. These are so important to me. And yeah, I know it sounds silly, but it is. Shut up. And just like, it wasn't even the drinking aspect. It was just dancing and being with my friends. Anyways, and so like, because I missed a lot, and like I had my PRP injections, which were the spring before, so I missed.
What are those for the audience?
PRP injections are where they take blood from your forearm, like where you normally get blood drawn, and then they spin it in this machine to get the platelets out, and then they inject those platelets into your knee where the pain is. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced. No, close to surgery. Because they just shoot it into the part that's painful, and it was awful. Truly. But anyways, you're not allowed to drink alcohol for those weeks because your blood has to be pure and your platelets like can't have any like toxins in them. And so I was just like, I don't want to go. Like, and
my point.
No, because it wasn't our formal. It was the men's soccer. Because then I went to that like Dage outside, but it's just like it's hard when you're on crutches. Everybody's like, "What happened to you?" So, anyways, I had missed a few things for that spring before, and then obviously COVID was before then, so I missed a lot. So I was just like, I want to go, and it felt right for me to go, and I felt happy with my decision. So kind of just trust your instincts and do the things that will take your mind off of kind of the overwhelmness that could be going on. And that doesn't mean ignore it. That just means do things occasionally for a few hours that might kind of take you away from that space. But I feel like those are the things that I kind of did. Did I explain that well? Did I?
Yeah, but it's like, what advice would you give, like, our audience or anyone listening, like, who maybe doesn't have the support system that you leaned on, or like when you go back to school and everyone's so busy with work, practice, social life, and you don't have that, like, what helped you, I guess, balance all of it? And also, yeah, because we're talking about, like, yeah, balancing it, I guess.
Crickets. No, I went to therapy, as I've mentioned before, but it truly just was such a nice escape for me, because I was so, like, I didn't want to go back to therapy, because after my first ACL, I went and I just did not have the greatest experience. Like, I just didn't, and I only went one time, and then this time, like, trainers was, like, pushing me, like, just go, like, you never know, this time might be different. It's like, all right, I'll go, I'll try it out. And I really, really loved my counselor, and she just kind of created this space for me to, like, feel and to vent and just create a non-judgmental space, because, like, just, it's so frustrating. Like, you can't even carry, like, a pot of water to put on for pasta, and you have to ask everybody for everything, and you can't do stuff on your own, and everybody's, like, constantly worried about you. And, like, yes, I do love being the center of attention, but not in that way. It's like, it's just, like, so demeaning. You feel like a child. Like, can you get me this? Can you get me that? And so I think I would recommend that to those who have the option to go to therapy, because I always say, like, even if it doesn't work out, okay, then you wasted an hour of your life that you probably would have been scrolling on TikTok. Like, just give it a whirl. And if you hate it, then you don't have to go back. But I think also something I would recommend is, again, doing things for you to take your mind off of the pain or the frustration or the exhaustion or the work, because, like, there's so much school and work and stuff going on. Like, just get away, whether that's a walk with the Wicked playlist blasting in your ears, whether that's reading a Christmas book, whether that's going to a Soul Cycle class, like, whatever that is for you, do it. And it doesn't have to be often, doesn't have to be every day, but I guarantee you're going to feel better when you just decide to do one little thing for yourself that takes you away from the overwhelmness that's going on in your mind.
I think one of, like, well, that's good advice, but I think,
yeah, I know.
Cocky mod?
Cocky. I literally shared on Instagram Livy being super cocky about her leadership.
You said humble, so
go check it out, folks.
Anyways, I feel like balancing, like, social life plus, like, work / soccer / school is also really hard. And I think, like, comparing yourself to, like, what everyone else is doing, either, like, at your school, like, at home, or, like, on social media, can be really hard. So maybe we can just talk about, like, how we balance that, I guess.
Yeah. Because it's a lot. It can take up kind of your whole day. And it's not even, like, even if you get home, like, say you get home at, like, 4 and you don't have anything to do, your mind is still racing. Like, okay, I have practice tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or I have 2 papers coming up in the next 2 weeks. Or people who are, like, a little bit older who have kids. Like, okay, I have to take my kids here. I have to take that. Like, your mind just doesn't stop. So, like, yeah, you may have time, but you may not be resting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I think it's, like, hard when you're like, oh, like, I want to go out tonight, and then it's, like, so fun, but then you see other people, like, doing their skincare, being in bed at 10, watching a movie, and then, like, feeling so refreshed the next day, or vice versa. Like, you do that one night, and then you're like, shit, like, that looked so fun, like, everyone who went out and had fun. Like, I just think it's hard to balance, like, when is a good time to, like, go out, let loose, or, like, vice versa, I guess, and, like, stay in. And I think always feeling like you want to be in 2 places at once, always feeling like you want to be the best, like, athlete, be the best student, but also, like, get the college experience. Like, I think that whole balance is something that was challenging for me.
How did you deal with it?
Well, a lot of the times I just, like, got peer pressured into doing something one way or another, which, like, sounds bad, but most of the time, like, whatever I did, usually it was like going out and socializing. Like whenever I did that, I never regretted it for the most part.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes like
Because we could
staying
have just left early.
exactly
Yeah.
like whenever you're not feeling it, it's like okay, you go home, you go to bed, and you're like, oh well, whatever. But like if you stay in, like even this could just be like a dinner because you're like, oh, I don't want to like spend money and I don't want to go out, which is valid. But a lot of the times when I did that, I'm like, oh, what if? Like that looked so fun. And like sometimes social media is fake. Like yeah, you see people and they're like, it wasn't that fun. But either way, like you're never gonna know because you didn't go. So I think that was hard. But it's also like when you're balancing, especially like when I was in my master's for social work, and I was in my season for my 5th year of soccer, and it's just like, yeah, practice every single day, traveling on the weekends, plus your 20 hours a week internship, plus papers, plus
4 3-hour classes.
Yeah, the 4 3-hour classes on Thursday and Friday. It was just like it's hard to know like what to do that's gonna like be best for you, and also like when to just like not care.
Well, and then also you have to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. Like,
yeah, it's like
that's a looming cloud
on you. Like,
yeah.
Oh, gotta figure out what you want to do. Like, oh, you don't want to move back home. Oh, move back home to save money. Oh, go to a big city and live your best life.
Travel Europe for 3 months.
Keep playing soccer. You'll always regret it. I'm like, damn, give me a break. But I think that is like something that's very challenging when you're either in college, just outside of college, or just like really any time in your life is like it's all moving so fast, and you're like, should I be doing like I swear it was New Year's Eve like yesterday.
No, I know.
Like what is going on? But
I know. I mean, the days go by slow, but the years go by fast, man. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Preach it, T.
But yeah, no, I feel like that's a really good point you made because it is so much about comparison these days.
Yeah.
Because it makes you question yourself and what you want to do. And it's like, yes, again, I understand people like when you don't want to go out, like you want to just kind of hang in. Like, I get that.
I mean, that's what we've been doing the past 3 months.
Yeah. But like, we also had 5 years of college. Like, it's the people in college now. Like, when we went out for like my social work class had a little formal. So we went out, but like the bars were dead. The streets were empty. Like when we were freshmen, like it was bumping every single night. There was wrapped around lines around the bars.
We never went out when we were freshmen.
Oh my God. No. But we walked on the street and saw what the bars looked like. Duh. Neil, if you're listening, you didn't hear that. Anyways, no, but seriously, it's like people are staying in and people are being more introverted because of their phones, because of social media, because of other things.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. And it changed the way people socialize, and that's okay. But like, just know these are like the only years in your life that you're not going to be working a full-time job. And you're not like, some classes don't start till 11 or practice doesn't start till 11. You get to sleep until 11. That's not real in the real world. You're up at 7. Like most jobs start at 8 or 9 and you have to commute. You have to be there at 9. And so it's just like take advantage of just having fun, dancing, letting loose, dance through life.
Yeah.
Dancing through life. But seriously, it's like it's so true. It's just like everybody kind of falls into this rhythm of just staying in, being on their phones. And it's like I don't know. I just think I would, if I didn't go out as much as I did, I would have regrets and I would question like, and I think I also might be itching to go out more now. And I might be like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Like, I need to experience all this stuff.
Yeah. I just feel like everything has like a negative connotation. Like it's, again, going back to like, oh, go out, stay in, play a sport in college, don't play a sport in college, like get a master's, don't get a master's, like major in this, major in that. It's like, it's just so much. So I think if you're thinking about all these things or struggling with like what to do and balancing, like I would just do what you want for the most part. Like don't think too far ahead in the future. Like, oh, if I do this, this is going to happen to me. Or if I don't do that, like usually that's not how it works. Usually just do what you want, have fun, whether that's whatever. But like, yeah, like I texted my friend. Oh my God, excuse me. So Well, I texted my friend Rachel about like going to UNC, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, blah blah blah. And she was like, well, if you don't take it, are you gonna regret it? Like, would you always wonder what if? And I was like, yeah, probably. And she's like, then go. So I think that's like obviously bigger term, but a lot of the times, like when you're in college, and what's funny?
I was just remembering when Rachel said when we shouted out last time, she sent me a snap and was like, me kicking my feet listening to you guys shout me out in the podcast.
Her ego is the size of an elephant.
She's literally like,
But anyways, yeah, so it's like, I don't know, like even if you're just making little decisions, like if I don't do this, like would I be mad at myself for not doing it? Then just do it. Like nothing's permanent. You can always like change your mind. You can always back out of things. You can always leave early. You can always, if you like want to hang out and then you eventually want to do something else, you can do that too. So I think knowing that there's options, because a lot of the time our minds, social media put us in this box, like you have to do this or else
this is the right way, this is the wrong way.
and like you have to do this
And
or
really
else your
there
life's
is-
going to turn to shambles. Like no, probably not.
Yeah. No, there's no wrong
And,
way to
like-
go about this thing we call life. Like everybody does it differently.
Oh my gosh, she's such a philosopher today.
I really am. I am a philosopher. But I think too, like I actually just wrote a paper for one of my classes, and I like having expandable goals or like stretchy goals, I like to call them, or like loose goals, because it's like it's good to have goals, like things you want to accomplish in life, like whether that's, you know, get a dream job, start a family one day, buy a house, these big goals we have. But I don't like setting a time frame around them. I think that just is so challenging, because if you do get it in the time frame, then it's like, okay, whoopee, what's next? If you don't, it's like I'm defeated. Like I didn't do what I said I was gonna. I didn't set it. Like, no, it's okay to have dreams and goals and have ambitions and write them down and think of those as your goals. But you don't need to trap yourself into them, because life changes, things happen. You may find another passion, you know, you may move for a different job and then things change. Like life is so up in the air that I think people who set those very specific time frame goals end up with disappointment, because a lot of times they may not happen in the time frame that you want them to happen. So just set them and then let life happen.
Yep. Everything is like, what's the word where it's like, it kind of depends on the situation.
Everything is,
I forget. Sounding like mom out here. No, so for example, like I just bought my first car, like at 23, bought it by myself. Like I'm so happy, amazing. But like some people will be like, wow, that's so late. Like you've never owned a car at 23, like with your own whatever. And then other people are like, I still don't want to. Like,
is it perspective?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the way, like I
feel like there's another word, but
yeah,
whatever.
no, there is. But I think perspective is important, because again, like you just said, it's all about how you look at it.
Yeah, and like it's going to be different for every single person. So I guess just like focus on yourself, and if you feel good about something, then know it's good. And yeah, I mean, and if you are in college, like you just enjoy that, because like we talked about, like you're really not going to have another time where that is your schedule looks like that. So I guess just take time to enjoy that more.
Yeah.
And then also like when you get outside of it, take time and enjoying of like that's your choice. Like you get to do when you're in college, like yeah, your major, your classes, your sport, like you get to choose, but like a lot of times like it's still scheduled for you. You have to take a certain amount to graduate. You have to do certain things to get through. But like when you're older, like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Or if you didn't go to college, yeah, you get to do whatever you want from the get-go.
Yeah, and I just feel like balancing all that is hard, but I don't know.
No, go ahead.
No, you.
I think another way that I kind of wished I did more of to balance my time and energy is like really create a strong time management schedule and like plan out my weeks and have a calendar. Like now that Google Calendar is there, I love it. I'm a huge Google Calendar person. Livy likes like a written agenda.
Well, I actually used one. You would be like, I want one too, and then buy it and then never use it.
Yeah, that's so fair. But I think like I wish I had come up with like a better way to manage my time when I was younger and then kind of adapted that. And I'm still figuring it out now, but I think I have a better time management skills, and I've created schedules and I have things written down. I just also wish I had used my resources. Like, no matter where you are in life, like, there are available resources for you. Like, whether that's through your community, whether that's through your job, whether that's through your campus, like, there are free resources for you to take advantage of. So do it. Get help, whether that's with time management skills, whether that's with resume building, whether that's with like anything, like whatever you're looking for to improve on in your life, or whatever is going to help make life easier for you, invest in it. Go talk to people, send emails, like show up to events, like reach out to community, find different things going on in the community or in your organizations or campuses, and just find out. You might learn something. You might figure out, like, I know there was like financial like stuff that might have helped me like learn how to invest, which I would have loved to learn about. And now I'm just kind of like, my money's just been sitting in a savings account for like a local bank, and it's like I'm technically losing money if it sits there. But we just don't learn about this stuff, and it's like that's a stressor on my mind. So if I could have learned about that, and I still have time now to do so, it might just help me be able to kind of let my mind relax a little more and handle things better. But because I'm always like, oh, what's this? What do I have to do? Like, I don't know. I just would encourage everybody to seek out the resources that are around you.
I agree. And I think also like just setting realistic stuff for yourself. Like for me, I wish I did like more like meal prepping and stuff in college, because like, again, if we build a schedule and we built that in, like it wouldn't have been as stressful of what are we going to eat tonight? Like, oh, we have a game tomorrow. We can't eat this. We can't eat that. Oh, we got to go get something because we don't have nutritional stuff for it, whatever it may be. Like, I think like I want to start doing that now.
Yeah.
But again, like I can't just throw myself into like, okay, I'm going to be like a nutrition baddie now. Like, no, like just set small realistic things to help me balance like my life. So it's like, okay, if I plan to at least do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, like plan out dinner at least, and then figure out the rest of the week on my own. Like certain things where it's like, because I know I'm not going to do that every single day. So I'm not going to set that just to like get pissed at myself.
Yeah. And to be like, yeah, again, it's like that same thing of like a cycle. Like if you set these goals and you don't achieve them, then you feel shitty about yourself. But if you set smaller goals and you have a kind of flexible timeline, you feel good when you accomplish things, and you start to feel better about yourself, and you can work your way up to more challenging, more demanding maybe goals about nutrition or something like that.
Yeah.
But it is really important to set, specific, measurable, attainable goals, because without them, you may not get to where you go. But if you make them too specific, you just may continue to feel crappy about your decisions. You may feel more overwhelmed than you already were.
Yeah.
So it's a tough cycle and a tough thing to kind of balance, but life is hard, people, and any way you can make it easier for yourself by doing these things, by reaching out to people and resources, like learn about things, educate yourself on, time management, on, skill building, things that can help you, and don't kind of knock them until you try them. Like some people may be like, oh, wow, you have a calendar. Oh, wow, you journal. Oh, like that's so haha. Like I wouldn't do that. Like I'm fine with my life. I'm good over here. Like, why would you say that if you've never tried?
What? It's like so aggressive.
Yeah, no, maybe that's like personal, but
like, who are you talking to? Who's out there?
I'm adding people.
Who
No,
came at you for journaling?
I'm not even like, I don't even like to journal, but I think
I do.
No, I think it's not even. It's when I hear like other people say that. It's not even directly towards me, but I'm just like,
who are you?
I'm just like, why do
That's
people
funny.
think it's like cool to like shit on other things that they've never tried?
Well, a lot of people, it comes from insecurities all the time. Like people think, I'm good where I am, but deep down you might feel differently. Yeah. So, but overall, like I think it's just important to try things that work for you and then stick with them. Like for me, like I use my reminders app on my phone like 24/7. Like even if it's like, what did I have the other day that you were dying laughing at? I had a reminder on my phone. Oh, I think it was to cut my toenails.
Yeah, no, it was. It literally, I grabbed her phone because she's like, Tori, can you check something for me? I go, and it goes, reminder, cut your toenails at 5 p.m. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am?
Oh my god.
Like, you're disgusting. First of all, your toenails are curling over your feet. Second of all, don't set a reminder to cut your toenails. Just cut them.
Yeah. But it works for me. I'm serious.
Yeah, and I can't knock it, you know?
Yeah, you're out here
I
judging people
can't.
for knocking. You're judging me.
I
But,
cannot.
like, I don't know. Like, because I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And then the times I don't set reminders or write it down, I get the next day and I'm pissed because my toenails are still long. But no, like, I don't know. Just, I think finding things that work.
Yeah.
And, like, every single, like, thing I have. Like, oh, fill out forms at 1. Text this person at 1. Even if I'm, like, I'll think about, like, a friend of mine who I haven't talked to in a while, I'll literally set a reminder, text them, like, next week because I feel overwhelmed now. And then if I also get the reminder I don't want to do it, I just hit mark as completed, even if I didn't do it. Just because I know too many reminders can, like, cause me so much anxiety and freak me out. So I'll just, like, clear them even if they're not done. And then when it comes back around, come back around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just finding things to help you balance life in general or help you, like you talked about, like having little tips and tricks or, like, reminder. Like, if I had a test, or I never did tests because I was an English major. Shout out. I would do that if I were you. Like, if I had a paper, like, say in a month, like, maybe set a date for 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I, like, start
a
it.
week before, like, that it's due.
Right.
Even though I have another week because that helps me. But I feel like we should just start, like, a saying, like, be like Libby. Because, like, yeah, like, you're killing it with those reminders. Like, murdering life. Setting those reminders.
I mean, it's just what I do.
Like,
It's
be
what
like
I
Libby.
Is that jealousy?
No.
It's a disease.
No, I'm
I
starting.
hope you get well soon.
I'm starting a chant because I want to be like Libby.
Get well soon.
But no, I forget what we were talking about.
My reminders.
All your reminders. Oh, another thing I was going to mention, like, we talked about a lot of time management and stuff, but also, like, staying organized can really help you, like, when you're feeling like these overwhelmed times, like Christmas time and, you know, finals and things. Stay organized, people.
Keep
like,
those reminders coming.
Lord have mercy. Stay organized. Like, keep your space organized, your bedroom clean, your office clean. Mom, we are adding you 5,000%. Like, no wonder you're running around the house like a mad woman stressed because everything is everywhere. But find, like, an organization tactic that works for you, like, however you would like to file things, put things away. But I promise you're going to feel more relieved and less stressed when things are organized, when your space is clean, when you know where things are, when you have to-do lists, when you have reminders like Livy Love. But just, like, I think that was a good point when you were talking about it. I just thought of it. I was like, that's such a good skill to learn, is how to organize your life, how to organize your finances, how to organize, you know, the things you do, like, even vacations. Like, make a list of things you want to do in the next 5 years and keep that list somewhere, whether that's in your phone, whether that's, you know, in somewhere in your space, and, you know, try to plan that. But, like, when you just try to, like, spur the moment plan stuff, like, it's really hard because you end up spending more money than you thought. You ended up not doing the things you wanted to do. But if you're organized,
I told you that.
What?
When you went to Europe.
Okay, we did a lot of planning, but yes, we should have planned more. Okay, well, how did we manage 4 weeks abroad?
Because you're idiots. Well, you literally like, yeah, we probably should have looked into, like, stuff to do. I'm like, I told you to do that.
We planned a lot of stuff. We
400
literally
times.
went to the Guinness tour. We went on a wine tour in
That was
Tuscany.
too.
You're
like, oh, I would love to do ATVing or this or that.
We didn't have the finances for that.
Well, you didn't even look. Anyways.
No, we did a lot of stuff. But yes, we could have planned more. But, like, again, being just organized, like, I had all the Airbnbs booked, like, I had stuff written down. Like, I called people who had been to those places. I wrote it. We had a whole doc of, like, you know, Mason's favorite things to do, like Dylan's favorite things to do in France or London, like, because he had been there a ton. Like, asking those people, because, like, it's just nice. And then writing it down and then looking back, okay, this doesn't really sound interesting to us, or this does. But I just think being organized is a really good way to stay balanced in life and to manage the overwhelming stuff of, you know, you have this thing coming and this thing coming and all those things.
Definitely. And then just, like, going back to, like, balancing school and stuff, like, I think people say, like, stay on top of your work, like, get it done early. But, like, for me, like, that really did work. Like, when I would do a little bit, like, even, like, 2-3 days a week, and then, like, eventually you just look at it and it's, like, almost done, and you're like, great.
Yeah.
Like, you just feel so much better. And it's way easier said than done, but a lot of times when I waited till the last minute, it's just, like, you don't feel good about it. You're not going to get a good grade. Like, you feel overwhelmed. You have to do it when you're traveling. Like, I never really did work when I was traveling because I had it all done. And, like, to be fair, like, yes, maybe I had an easier major than other people, but
Yeah.
just not saving things to the last minute, like, writing things down, getting things done early. Like, even for now, like, we're not going to Utah till Monday. Like, I'm basically all packed just because I don't, like, I want to enjoy, like, the times. Like, when we went away to travel for time, like, I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to be present. Like, I didn't want to do that. So I would just recommend, like, I know everyone says it, but yeah, just, like, staying on top of it.
Also, a good trick to try to do that is, like, the 5-minute trick. So it's, like, literally set a timer for 5 minutes and then just start packing, or, you know, start filling out a bill that you had to, or start filling out a scholarship thing you're applying for. Whatever it is, just set a timer for 5 minutes and start it. And if you're at the end of the 5 minutes, you're just not in the mood to do it, then okay. But most of the times, just because a lot of the times that, like, anxiety to do stuff is because we haven't started yet, and we're just so worried about starting. But if you just give yourself 5 minutes to start something and do it, you might find yourself, like, able to do it, and then you just start. And then I finished packing. But I'm like, it just took me that 5-minute trick, setting a timer, to really get things, you know, the ball rolling on things. So that's a kind of trick if you have trouble procrastinating.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then while we're finishing up our episode here, going back to, like, balancing relationships with life, do you have any tips and tricks on that, or want to talk about that while we close out?
I think it's hard, especially when you're an athlete, and both of our boyfriends were athletes as well, in undergrad. And it's hard because you have your own life, and then you have your friends, and then you have your soccer, and then you have your boyfriend, and then you have your family, and then you have school, and it's all intertwined. But I think a big thing for me is just, like, I don't know. It's like, do the thing you want to do. Like, if you want to be with your boyfriend, then go be with your boyfriend. I mean, a lot of our teammates, like, lived with their boyfriends. Like, we enjoyed our friends, and we like to be with our friends a lot. But when we wanted to go see our boyfriends, or they wanted to come over, like, we did that as well. But I think people just try to make you feel guilty no matter what you do. Yeah. Or you make yourself feel guilty for what you're doing.
You made me feel guilty all the time.
Yeah, and you did the same.
Because she's psycho.
You're just a psycho.
No, you are.
She tries to hide behind this little nice girl, Livy, but she's a demon. Anyways,
you just own up to it.
You just own up to it yourself.
I won't, because I never did that.
Look at her smirk.
You did that, like, that entire first 3 years of school.
I don't know.
You're crazy. Look at that face.
What face?
She's crazy.
Anyways, I don't know. I just think it's part of life. You're gonna have to,
pick and choose.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pick and choose and balance things, and it's hard, but
that's not very good.
Ew, you spit on my face. You're so disgusting. No, my advice would be to
do what you want.
Do what you want with me. No, it's to not let other people's, like, feelings dictate what you do. Because a lot of the times I did, and I don't know, it's like you're gonna feel guilty, I think. Like, think about holidays. Like, if you have to be with your in-laws versus your family, like, it's just, you're gonna feel guilty no matter what. But just try to split your time evenly. Try to be with your friends half the time. Try to be with your boyfriend half the time. And then the rest will kind of fall into place. But I don't know. I just feel like if you choose one over the other, you're going to lose friends. And friends are very important to have in life. And if you don't have friends to lean on and talk to, life is going to feel pretty lonely. So my advice would be, don't sacrifice your friends for a boo thing. But I knew you'd love that term. But I don't know. I think try to split stuff. Try to do things with them. Try to do things. And what is your advice, though? Because you just love to just shoot that at me like I have great advice to give to people.
Well, I thought you might, but apparently not. Yeah, I mean, I feel like mostly what you said, and also just like we talked about before through this whole episode, like for me, like just organizing and planning ahead, like set weekends aside. Like this weekend I'm doing that, so if something comes up, oh well, like you already committed to that, you want to do that, you've been looking forward to that, and that's that. So I think when you're kind of like debating between, at least for me, like last minute decisions on what to do, like it makes it so much more stressful. You're listening to everyone's, but it's like, if you have this plan, well, then that's what you're going to do. And then you just feel better about your decision and everything. And that's such good advice. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I should just ask myself this question. But yeah, and just overall, like Tori said, just try to balance between everything and everyone and just like be there to support people no matter what they do. You know, obviously like it gets easier when you get older and you start maturing and you figure out life, but you know, like the people you want to be there in your life forever, like just support them no matter what, and know that everyone is probably trying their best to balance everything, or like in the moment they think they're doing what's right, and then maybe later on they'll figure out and they'll learn and they'll grow from that, and that's that. So
yeah. But I just think college and high school, it's just like a time to split your time. And because the rest of your life, you might be living with that significant other. So spend time with your friends and go do things. And balance it. And like you said, be organized, make a commitment and stick with it. And fill in time for your friends. Like if you're with your boyfriend all the time, set plans with friends, you know, try to set up a dinner thing, try to set up a sleepover, or whatever it is, and things like that. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, we've talked a lot about how to balance kind of overwhelming feelings with a lot going on, school, soccer, life, work. But again, if you guys ever have any questions that you want us to talk about or explain our experiences with it, just, you know, follow us on Instagram at recently.retired. You can DM us, you know, comment any questions that you have. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good week before Christmas, and our next episode will be out the day after Christmas, episode 6.
Are we doing that, or are we taking a week off?
I think we should. No, let's do it. Let's record Sunday.
All right, yeah, we could just record before and then we'll put it out Thursday.
Yeah, but we'll be in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
All right.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas to all. To all a good night. Please got that.